May the words that I speak please the ears of this congregation and put a little smile on the face of the universe. When I get up in the morning, I am confronted with a closet full of, honestly, 36 dresses. And what do I say? I say, I don't want to wear any of these dresses. I want something that I don't have. I am not content with this plethora of beauty and color before me. But if I had just 7 dresses, this would be a different story. When I visited our Unitarian cousins in Transylvania, there was a little girl named Andi, and Andi had a paper napkin that was patterned with flowers, and she kept it by her bedside, and she touched it only when her hands were clean. I throw those napkins away all the time, because I have a lot of them. When we have an abundance, it suddenly becomes very difficult to cherish. And cherishing our world is one of the most beautiful things about being alive. The thing is, once you've got an abundance of something, your relationship to it changes. It's no longer about the need, but a hunger. Buddhists have a whole realm of being called the hungry ghosts. And these are beings that are insatiable, who consume and desire endlessly. And this fate is worse than being reborn as a bed bug. We all know that there is beauty everywhere. And we all know that it's not good to take this beauty for granted. Because when we see beauty and we hunger for it and we don't cherish it, something is awry. When we see beauty, we must drink it in, and we must drink in beauty every single day. People who are overeaters know about this. When we feel our stomachs tighten because we've eaten too much, overeaters have the difficult task of figuring out when is enough. I bet most of the people in this room have food issues because our society has food issues, because our society has abundance issues. I just want to say something to everyone in this room who does have food issues, shopping issues, alcohol issues, sex issues. So many people in our society struggle with this. So many people struggle with what it means to have enough. But we don't overeat because we're bad people. We don't buy too many dresses because we're bad people. It's because we are taught that more and more and more is better. So we feel that we have to get more. Why? So that we aren't empty. If we look closer at abundance, we see that it isn't as much about abundance as it is about scarcity. All of our overbuying, all of our having too many things, all of it is about a fear of not having enough. It's not just a personal unhealthiness, it's also a political and economic unhealthiness. We're so afraid of scarcity in this country, we buy too much food and throw away 40% of it. In a way, we are so afraid of being empty that we fill up all the time. We make sure that there's always something ready to fill us up next. And always more than we need. I wonder, what would it look like to live in an alternative space where we don't look at the world like that? What would it look like to live in an alternative space where we fill up on things that actually fill us up? I'm sure you know what really fills you up. Relationships, art, music, family, cooking, tinkering with machines. I'd like to invite you all to close your eyes and think of something or a time that is very special to you. An object or a time that you cherish with all your heart. this thing or this time that you love? I wonder, how many of this thing do you have? How long was this special time? You can all open your eyes now. I have special things. Special things like this little jar of chocolate. I'm on a tight budget, and this is all the chocolate I have for a little while. What I do is I buy a bar of chocolate, I break it into little pieces, and I put it in this jar that seals. And I love to look at my chocolate jar to see how much I have left, take a little piece off and revel in its taste, and to revel in the joy of knowing that I have this much left. But if I had 10 chocolate bars, I'd probably eat 3 a day. One in the morning, one when I got bored in the afternoon, and one right before bed. Now, I'm in seminary, and many people around me are on a spiritual path. And many of these people believe in total renunciation. That means that you have nothing but your food to keep you alive, your shelter, and your water. And this is supposed to be the way to become enlightened. And I see the wisdom in this. But I also think that we don't only need bread. We need roses too. We need to have our daily needs met and a little jar of chocolate. We need to have beautiful objects, time to create art. We need full lives that know the feeling of blissful saturation. We can choose this path. We can choose the bread and roses path. We don't have to choose the path of 10,000 loaves of bread and a field of roses. And we don't have to choose just bread. After all, Jesus said, we do not live on bread alone. Yes, abundance is to be celebrated because there are many of us, and in order to feed and clothe all of us on this earth, we need an abundance. But in our own personal lives, we only need just enough. In fact, I think that a full and happy life comes from only having so much. Where we have beauty and humor, creativity, aroma, softness on one hand, and on the other hand, we are not hungering for more, because that hunger can deaden us. So I will leave you with a question. What would it look like to live in this moment with enough? With bread and roses, to be satiated, content with what we have. What would that look like for you? Blessed be you.